My name is Andrew Hoffman, and I'm fairly new to Lamont, so I just graduated from the University of Washington, so that's where I did my graduate studies for the last 6 years. Before that, I was working in Copenhagen for a little bit, and then before that, I did my undergrad in Minnesota. Came to kind of earth science, or started thinking about kind of polar regions, the Arctic and Antarctic, doing some work in Alaska. So that's kind of where I got my start. The first opportunity I had to kind of see that, and I was really not aware that there was people studied the Earth and climate system for their work. Meet people who thought about glaciers and hydrology, and got paid for it. I do radioglaciology, which is ice is transparent to radio waves. You can image structure and see the bed of the ice sheet through the ice when you transmit radio waves into the ice. We were in Greenland. We had a subcomponent of the radar system that we used. We were using a new radar system that we've been developing with collaborators at the University of Kansas. I was only gone for a week, but it's a lot of work. In either poles, the stakes are they can seem higher, I think, because there's lots of travel involved. After work, you're still a roommate to all the people that you're kind of working with, and you're still cooking together, and you're still the obligations that you have as just being part of a good housemate, a good friend, that all kind of extends after work. An area where there's also lots of people doing really important work to try and kind of create more positive spaces where good science can happen. When you work with technology or you're doing any kind of research, it's a very kind of nonlinear process where you're working on something, but there isn't necessarily an outcome that's proportional to the work that you're putting into that idea or that research problem. I think like anything there, you encounter delays. You kind of think one of the skills that you learn is just kind of being able to persist in that. You're going to encounter problems and it's going to be hard, or things aren't going to work, and you just kind of have to looking to kind of how you can move forward and what you can do about the situation. So another thing with polar field work is that oftentimes you're working really, really hard to meet a deadline that's just unavoidable. After that happens, to take some time off if you can. I think the other thing is that just there's always new questions or new things you can do and ask. An LC-130 is a type of aircraft that's used by the Air National Guard to move lots of freight around Antarctica and Greenland. These are really remote parts of the Earth, and so it's just a long distance. Just calculating how many hours the plane has to have its engine running. These aircraft land in deep field sites. It's kind of pretty amazing, honestly, and you can kind of normalize it to the point where you take it for granted. And I've done that, but the folks who do it are real experts and they have a ton of experience, and it's important. It's pretty difficult to just land a big plane on a snowy surface that's constantly changing.